Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on.
Welcome to Rick Drasin Live. I have a story I'd like to share with you. I just read an article that I wrote quite a while ago, and I thought it was so good and hit home so much I wanted to share it with all of you, because people asked me who weren't present back in the 70s what it was like when I moved to Santa Monica and Venice. What was the era like? It was a totally different world back then, and what did it do for you? Well, I moved here in 1969 from Bakersfield, which is a small, very small west, I guess desert town you'd call it. And I always wanted to be near the ocean. And when my feet hit the sand and the sea, when I was a kid, I said, this is where I'm going to live one day. And I had gone with my parents when I was about 8 or 9 years old to Santa Monica every year. And I'd go swimming and hang out with the rafts and come in on the waves and do all the things that you do at the beach. And I said, this is the way to go. The beaches were clean then. There was a lot of tourists out there. There was a lot of people in the sand. There was no crime. There was a great hamburger stand owned by Honest John, the wrestler. He made great hamburgers. He rented surfboards. And it's a life that you thought, it's a life of luxury, and it's right here in Santa Monica. If you walk down about a mile, you hit the Ocean Park Pier. The Ocean Park Pier was an entertainment pier. It had a roller coaster, the Dome Theater, a roller rink, and then it had tons of little stands of rides in the Laughing Lady and the Glass House that you get locked into, and all these little rides that you just go on for a quarter. At a pizza place, you could buy pizza for a quarter. You could walk on the pier for free. They had a delicatessen. They had trams going back and forth from the pier to Santa Monica for 5 cents that you could fit 12 people on. It was quite a life. It was quite a lifestyle. And then in '69, when I moved here, is when my life started to change, because I got away from a desert atmosphere and I got to an ocean atmosphere, which I really, really wanted. I got an apartment by the beach, and I walked in the Gold's Gym and I said, this is where I want to be. I want to be here with these people. I trained at a YMCA at home, and no one was ever there, or the other gyms, because people work 8 to 5. They didn't go to the gym. They just would be in their offices and maybe 2 or 3 people training. When I walked in the Gold's at 10 in the morning, there was 40 people in there. I said, doesn't anybody have a job? But they were all in the movie industry. They were working as grips or sound people or maybe bouncers or nightclubs or whatever, and during the day they'd train. I made friends instantly, and it was a camaraderie that I don't think I ever had in my life, not even in high school. There were people from all over the world. It was like a melting pot of bodybuilders and trainers who could come in just to visit and hang out and stay for a few weeks and make new friends constantly. There was a lot of places you could go to hang out and have a wonderful time. Wilshire Boulevard at 5th was Zookie's Delicatessen. We'd go down every night around 10 o'clock and have cheese omelets before going to bed at night to grow on. And it would be Arnold and all of us guys. We'd just have a great time. I fell in with Joe Weider. He started using me in the magazines, and from that point on, my career took off. And then I started wrestling at the Olympic Auditorium prior to that, and I was doing that at night. So my life, for me, was a full life. I was really enjoying what I was doing. On the weekends, we go to the marina, and that's where we'd make most of our dates in those days. And since we were bodybuilders and so unique looking, we would attract a lot of people. The girls would love us, and the guys would get upset with us. But we had a good time. And it was a fun time. There was no harm done. And it was just one of the best things in the world. It was called the hippie era. The colognes were musk or patchouli oil. And no matter where you went, that's all you would smell. People would burn incense in their houses and their apartments. You could smell it all over the streets. Aquarius was playing on Sunset. The Fifth Dimension and Bob Dylan were right down the street rehearsing. And you either had a Volkswagen bus or a Volkswagen car. Now, I was raised with muscle cars, so for me, a Volkswagen was a little bit off-centered, but I bought one for $400. It was a 56, I believe, and it'd go 40 miles an hour maybe. But I enjoyed every minute of it. I didn't care how fast it went. I'd come to Bakersfield to visit my mom, and I'd have to walk alongside up the hill just to, my body weight wouldn't slow it down. But those times we'll never do again, and we'd wear our gym clothes all day. I mean, sometimes to work out in tank tops and shorts or no shirt, no shoes. It didn't really matter. The beach was across the street. And Joe Gold didn't care because he did the same thing. There were no rules to speak of. The gym had one shower, men and women together. That's all they had. And it didn't create any problems. The night dress, if you went out to the marina at night in those days, was paisley shirts with bell bottoms and shoes with giant heels like clogs. If you can imagine that. Mullet hairstyles with mustaches and sideburns. God, I can't imagine why I did that. But that was a trend, and this is what we did. And even though it is what it is, it was a good time. And when you look back on it, you think, boy, I lived those lives. And it was something fun to talk about and think about, because it's never been duplicated again. There were contests, and everybody would go to the contest. They'd have parties afterwards, and we'd hang out at the beach and make homemade ice cream as a group, which is no longer done. And it was just a great time. We get phone calls. There was a payphone on the wall in the gym looking for actors or bodybuilders for movies or TV shows. And I'd always answer the phone and gather a group of guys together and say, come on, we got an audition. And we'd go over to Hollywood, we'd audition, and 9 times out of 10, we got the part for a Chevy commercial or maybe the movie Ben with the Rats or any one of those things. We get the job because we were so unique. They wouldn't fit us into anything other than bodybuilding roles at the time because we weren't widely accepted. And they said, if you play a doctor or a lawyer, you're not going to look like that. You wouldn't be muscular. Well, times have changed, and now you would be. So that was kind of fun. But I think back about those days, and then I designed the T-shirt, and everybody wore it, and I see my signature and my shirt all over town. I was kind of proud of the fact that I could do that. And then working with Joe Weider and had some more shirt designs coming out with his magazine. It was a wonderful life, and people were free and easy, and friendships were plenty. And after 1979, and it switched to the 80s, the golden era of the door of 1970 slammed shut. It wasn't the same anymore. It completely changed overnight, like somebody pulled the shade and said, okay, change the stage, put new people out there in a new set. We're going to have a new life now. And it was never, ever the same as it was back then. But it's something to remember. It's a decade that will always stay in my heart and my mind. It was just amazing, just really amazing. And I talk about it a lot because people ask me a lot, and I wish I could have shared it with all of you. I know a lot of you are too young to go back there. And let me tell you something. Hold on to what you have in your life today, because before you know it, it's yesterday, and it's 20 years ago yesterday. It goes so fast. Treasure every moment. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed that life, and I wished I would have had a video camera then, but they weren't popular. Although when my son was born in 1979, Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong loaned me his video camera to take pictures of video of my son. But by that time, that Quasar machine became obsolete. Now I can't use the video. So I hope you enjoyed that little story. It's kind of fun. I still have some clothing from back then that I saved just the treasures to look at. And some pictures and photographs, because Artie Zeller took a lot of photographs of all of us in the gym and out of the gym, and I have them on my walls in my studio. And I like sharing this with everybody because you weren't there to see it, but if you can live it through me, you'll love it. Thank you for listening, and I've got more stories, so I'll be back. Bye-bye. Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.